Picking up from where we left off in 1 Samuel chapter 19, Saul and his men aren't able to capture and kill David because the Spirit of God intervenes. Having just been informed of Saul's plot to kill David, Jonathan confirms that his father is still angry and signals to David to flee for his life till Saul is no longer a threat, and the two friends tearfully part ways. Now in chapter 21, David goes to Ahimelech the priest to hide from Saul. Ahimelech is taken aback at the fact that an important person like David is all alone, and this is when David lies, saying that he's on an important mission as per the king's orders and that no one is to know of it. This is where you see fear causing David's faith to dip, because he resorts to lying to save himself rather than banking on God to take care of everything. He asks Ahimelech if there are any weapons he can take to protect himself while carrying out the king's orders, and Ahimelech gives him the very weapon used by Goliath himself. David then flees to Achish, the king of Gath, which is a Philistine city, meaning he went into enemy territory to hide from Saul, with Goliath's weapon no less. It didn't make sense for David to do that, but this was the consequence of David beginning to think from man's perspective rather than God's, which is interesting because this happens after he writes Psalm 11. But now that David is in the presence of the enemy king, he is scared when he realizes that the people recognize him. So he feigns madness in hopes of being let go, and the king of Gath tells his men to take David away from his presence. It's during these events that David writes Psalms 34 and 56. In Psalm 56, he prays for deliverance, while Psalm 34 is written after David's escape from Gath, as he hides in a cave. Looking at these incidents along with the Psalms that were written at the time helps us understand more than what's just recorded in the books of Samuel or Kings or Chronicles. For example, Psalm 56 hints at there being more than just a violent pursuit to kill David, and that Saul twisted his words and fabricated evidences against David to ruin his reputation as well during this time. Something else this shows us is that even if David is put on a pedestal for his faith in God, even he had his moments of fear when he gave heed to man's logic and made mistakes. And therefore, at the end of the day, there's no perfect human being for us to look up to, but Jesus himself, who is the author and perfecter of our faith.